Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the season finale of the Appalachian Outlaws Pulling Series. On tonight's show, we have two amazing classes battling it out at the Somerset County Fairgrounds, and the action starts right now. And first up on the track is going to be Garrett Brooks, the number 2 puller in the points race so far for the 2023 season. And this is a tough truck to beat here. Last night he had a little bit of an issue there towards the end of the track, but tonight he's back and he's looking to take home the win and get up in that number 1 spot. So here he goes. This is Garrett Brooks from Ada, Pennsylvania, 2011 Dodge. Taking off. And that's going to be your mark to beat. He's going to keep that distance, 3:30.09. Going to be the final distance for Garrett here tonight. Had a great run going down the track, and that truck might have ran out of power and ended a little bit quickly at the end of that run there. Might have had a couple more feet in her. But 3:30.09 going to be a tough distance to beat. And that's going to bring up our second puller. The mark's set. Dale Gazza has to chase him now. 1998 Dodge Cummins, he calls Old Blue, from Ruffsdale, Pennsylvania. A top running truck coming out of that southwestern Pennsylvania area. A top running truck on the Appalachian Outlaws circuit. He hasn't been able to make it to all the pulls this year, but the ones he has been in the top 5 just about every time. Let's see if he can do it again here tonight. And a nice smooth pull down there, running out of power at the end. I'd say Dale gave it all she had here tonight. 289.71 gonna be the distance for him. So Garrett Brooks holding on to that number 1 spot so far. And Dale setting a great distance out there as well. We'll see what happens through the rest of the class with 8 more trucks to go. And this is Rod Briggs from Washington, Pennsylvania. 1997 Dodge. This is a top running truck. Sometimes he'll jump down in a lower class, the open street diesel division, be a top running truck in that class. Jumps up into the hot rod diesel class and always does a very good job. Tons of pulling experience behind the wheel, and it shows. So let's see what he can do here tonight, backing into that sled, the Angry Farmer Bingham pulling sled on the line. Let's see how far he takes it here. He's spooling up. This is Rod Briggs from Washington, Pennsylvania. Here he goes. And oh man, what a monster pass. He had a great takeoff there. Nice and smooth, got those tires a-turning. Had a little bit of rear end hop there, but towards the end of the run, he just stayed towards the center portion of that track. Ended off at 317.67. Coming out on the line now from Dawson, Pennsylvania, we have Garrett Rice, the 2006 Dodge, top running truck in the class as well. All these trucks are super competitive. On a good night, you can see these guys stacking in there anywhere from 5 to 10 feet. Let's see if he can beat the mark to beat 3:30.09. Here we go. And he was just cruising out there, had a ton of track speed. And you'll see here towards the end, got those wheels turning real fast. Got a ton of track speed towards the middle portion of the track. And veered off towards the left side of the track. So we haven't seen a guy do that yet tonight. He got out there 3:21.27. Good run put down and good enough for the number 2 spot so far. This is Luke Rollin, 2001 Dodge. He pulled last night, had a good run going for him. He's back here tonight, the second night in the second session of pulling here at the Somerset County Fair. Short bed single cab might be a little bit of a disadvantage with his wheelbase, but this truck runs great. Let's see what he can do here. The green lights out on the sled. Here he goes. .93 gonna be the final distance for him here tonight for the homebrewed performance truck. Not a bad run at all, but gonna stop just a little bit short. And here's a guy that's been on a mission. Last night he was out here as the test puller. Went way out there, over 340 feet. The sled was reset. He came back later in the night and just could not get the truck to run. But this is Greg Slingloff with the pocket change truck. Top running truck here in the hot rod diesel class. Looking for his first win of the 2023 season. Always a fan favorite. And they're rooting for him here tonight at his hometown track. So let's see what he can do. This is Greg Slingloff with the pocket. Oh man, and he took it out there, had a huge pass, and he did it, 3:36.62. Gonna be your new leader here in the class. A monster pass put down by the pocket change truck, veered off towards the right portion of the track and just pawed with those Nitto mud grapplers on the front. And that was enough to do it. And here he is, this is Jeff Weimer with the Sander Concrete Bad for Business truck. 1997 Dodge Cummins backing into the sled. Another Somerset native here. And man, he had a huge win just a couple weeks ago in Fishersville, Virginia. So looking for win number 2 on the season here tonight. Here he goes. Mark the beat is now set at 3:36.62. Oh man, and he's knocking on the door. Let's get a distance for him here. 3:30.01. So a monster pass put down, and they are stacking in here. Gonna be good enough for the number 3 spot. Garrett Brooks just edged them out. Not even an inch separating these two. So they are stacking in here like crazy right now. 3:30.01. And next up's going to be your 2023 points leader. This is Brandon Kipple, a 2012 Dodge. Another great running truck coming out of Dawson, Pennsylvania. He's battling it out right now with Garrett Brooks. So to solidify a championship here, he has to get past that 3:30.09 mark, or at least make it a little bit more of a comfortable distance for him. So let's see what he can do here. He won the pool last night. Let's see if he can make it 2 wins for the weekend. Here he goes. Oh man, and he's there. Did he do it? It's close. 337.14. There's your new leader, fans. Just got Greg Slingoff by about 1 foot. Just separating these two trucks. Ran a very similar line down the track, and he just spun out hard there. Caught just a little bit further at the end, and he got that distance. Gonna be your new leader with 2 trucks left. And here he is. This is Levi Varney, part-time pimp, a Hutchinson, Pennsylvania native, coming out here tonight at the Somerset County Fair. Looking for that win here tonight. 337.14, now the mark to beat. Right up in there. Looks like he's right up against that leader cone. Just a little bit shy of the lead though. 323.7. So about 14 feet away, but within a truck length. And you're going to see that a lot in this class. These trucks just stack in there so close. It can be anybody's night. But tonight Levi's going to go home 323.17. Still a great run. And that's going to bring up the last puller in the class, Joe Espy. Dawson, Pennsylvania, the 1991 Dodge he calls Bad Company. Looking for that number 1 spot. 337.14, the mark to beat. And he is spooling up and getting ready to take off here. Let's see what he does. Oh man, and he got up there, 325.03, so just edging out Levi Varney for that number 5 spot. And he's going to get it here tonight, so Joe Espy does enough to get up there and keep a good distance there on his points competitors for the year. So not a bad run. And we're going to take a look at your replay here. Here's your winning run. Brandon Kipple from Dawson taking the win. And that's going to do it here tonight. Brandon Kipple, 337.14. Greg Slingoff, 336.62. Garrett Brooks going to be rounding out the top 3 here tonight at 330.09, but a great showing by the whole class here at the Somerset County Fairgrounds. And next up on the track is going to be the big block high output trucks, 1-ton driveline, open cubic inch trucks on a DOT tire. And this has been a close points battle all year long. The drivers are showing up and looking to compete here tonight, and we're going to see who takes it all home. Stay tuned. All right, and kicking off the big block high output class, going to be none other than William Campbell with the Scalded Dog, and he's taking off down the track. And he was the first puller, so he has the option to come back here tonight, and I think his team made the decision, you know what, there's so many trucks in this class, we're going to let that track beat in just a little bit more, let them guys build a road, and we're going to come back at the very end and just take that road to the finish. So he's going to drop that hook, and that's going to bring up our second puller of the night. This is Randy Wright from Somerville, Pennsylvania. They call this truck the Rusted Rooster, a good-looking 1979 Ford F-250. Been on the Appalachian Outlaws circuit quite a bit this summer, making their debut year here in the pulling world. New pullers, new trucks, and they are looking to take home their first win. Here he goes. And he gets it out there right up against that full pull mark. He's looking over at it, pretty happy with his run, I would say. And we'll get a distance for him, 289.29. Gonna be the mark to beat here tonight. And that's going to bring up a great running truck, Terry Mostoller with the Roxbury Lunatic. They actually just got this truck back together yesterday, brought it over to the fair during session number 1, and had a really nice test hit down the track. So he's feeling confident as ever. Let's see if he can take over the number 1 spot here. 289.29, the mark to beat. And spinning out hard at the end, that's going to be enough to do it. 308.41. That truck was just screaming down the track. Did not take a lot of time to be full throttle and going down through there for him. So that's going to be good enough to take over the lead. And bringing up our next pooler, it's going to be Carl Barnhart, the Midlife Crisis truck. And man, they are on a roll this season. They had a little bit of an unfortunate event at Cookport at the beginning of the year, broken axle, but they've been doing well ever since, going straight up the list when it comes to the points rankings this year. And they're looking to take home a win here tonight. You see he's positioning that sled a little bit different on the left side of the track, so looking for a little bit of unfound ground after a bunch of pulling here tonight, trying to get as much traction as possible to get down through there and take over the lead. So let's see if he can do it here. 1970 Ford Midlife Crisis. Oh man, not gonna be enough here tonight. 301.68 gonna be the distance for him. Had a really nice pull going down through there. You can see he got into some loose dirt there on the left side of the track and had a little bit of wheel shake there on the front end and spun out hard, but not gonna be enough here tonight. But a pretty looking run, pretty looking truck. You want to talk about a pretty looking truck, here's another one. George Nicholson driving the Back in Black truck, and if you're a fan of gas truck pulling, this truck is no stranger to the winner's circle. This is Back in Black. Mike Lockwood was the previous owner of the truck, has many points championships with it. This truck came from Ohio with multiple owners behind the wheel, always a top running truck. So let's see if he can take the lead here. And oh man, he got out there. 322.05, gonna be the distance for him. Had a little bit of bounce on the takeoff, but it smoothed out really quickly within 20 feet. Had a ton of track speed going down through there, and that's gonna be good enough for the number 1 spot here tonight. Not a bad run. Next up, going to be Jerry Mostoller from Friedens, Pennsylvania, driving a 1969 Ford he calls the Mistress. His brother Terry's in the number 2 spot here, and these guys are fan favorites in this area. This is basically their hometown fairgrounds here tonight. So lots of people in the crowd rooting them on, wanting to see them win. Let's see if he can beat that mark to beat 322.05. And a great run put down by Jerry. That's going to put him in the number 2 spot so far here tonight. 310.59. Had a little bit of difficulty taking off with that truck. Smoothed out perfect and veered off towards the left portion of the track. You see these pullers going all over the place, and this is one of those classes where these drivers all have a different idea of what they want to do, different setups on the trucks, different ways of driving, different gear ratios, and that all comes down to who gets the win. Who can do all those things right, pick the right line down the track, and secure the win. And here's a guy with a lot of pulling experience. This is Jason Barron, the Flying Farmer truck, 1979 Chevrolet. Let's see if he can use that experience to his advantage here. Set the sled in the middle portion of the track. Here he goes. And not what you want to see here tonight. 182.46 going to be the distance for him. Broke about 100 feet into the run. And man, just a tough night here for Jason Barron with the Flying Farmer. Not what you want to see. You always want to see these trucks make a great effort down the track. These trucks are so competitive. Jason was in the top 5 when it came to the points race for 2023. So a heartbreaking night here for him. But I'm sure he'll be back and be a force to be reckoned with at the next pull down the line here in just a couple weeks. And here he is. This is Gary Chambers, your 2023 points leader so far. A good running truck from Bremen, Ohio. 1973 Ford he calls the Bandit. Tons of wins so far in 2023. He's ventured a lot of times out of that Ohio region. Pulled with the Appalachian Outlaws all season so far. He had a great run just a couple weeks ago in Missouri. Actually took the win way out there. Was down in North Carolina a bunch this year, so he really has this truck figured out. Let's see if he can take the win. Oh man, he's knocking on his door. Is it enough? 321.63, just about a foot shy of taking over the lead here tonight, but a great run put down by the Bandit. That truck was just screaming RPMs down the track. He went down the middle portion of the track just like the leader, George Nicholson, right now, and that really put him out there. 321.63, good enough for number 2. And here's another truck that comes from Ohio. This is Shotgun Sally Tyler Wright. This truck used to be called the Hollywood truck, and it had a ton of wins on the Central Ohio pulling circuit, but it's been in Pennsylvania this year. They're getting this truck figured out. Every time he's getting better and better at driving this thing. Let's see if tonight's the night for him. Oh man, he might have just did it. He is right there. Right up against the leader cone, but not enough. 321.17, gonna be good enough for the number 3 spot so far in tonight's class. Just a couple inches away from Gary Chambers and about a foot from our leader, George Nicholson, right now. A great run put down by that truck right there. And here's a guy that's been on a hiatus. This is Brett Cashier. Good looking truck right here. This is a 1972 Chevy. He had some engine failure during the 2021 season. Waited a whole year to get his motor back, as a lot of people have been. And he's finally got it back together. Had a test hook at Ox Hill last week. Let's see if he can do it here tonight. Oh man, he's there, and he's gonna do it. There's your new leader, fans. 328.28. He creeped on out there real slow on the takeoff. Got a ton of track speed, just gradually got up there at the end of the track and just pawed his way to the lead. 328.28. And next up's gonna be the Undertaker. Part of the Undertaker pulling team, was the number 1 truck all summer long. Had a bad placing in Fishersville, Virginia just a couple weeks ago, and the team's been working hard trying to figure out what they can do here tonight. They got a win at Lebanon, Pennsylvania. They need another one here tonight to secure a points championship and get a little bit closer to the leader. Let's see if they can do it. Oh man, and he's going to be back there, but still right in the mix of things. Let's get a distance on him. 316.34. Not going to be enough to get into that top 5 here tonight, but creeping on the door of it. So staying right where he needs to be to get in the mix of things when it comes to the points race at the end of the year. A good run put down Ronnie Younger behind the wheel of the Undertaker here tonight, with 2 more trucks left to go. And that's going to bring up Tracy Troy, 1993 Chevy called Blue Past You. Here's another driver coming out on the track just hungry for that first 2023 win. She's ventured out of the Appalachian Outlaws pulling series a couple times, got some wins at some local county fairs this year, but looking for that first win on the circuit. Can she do it? And she's there. She just blew past the leader cone. Let's see what the laser says. 332.99 gonna be your leader. 2 trucks left to go after Campbell comes back, so she is gonna be right up there. That's gonna be tough to beat. That truck was hauling the mail, as they would say. Got up there, 332.99. But that's going to bring up your number 2 truck in the points race. Very confident coming out on the track here tonight. He wants to take over the lead, and a win here would do it. This is Judgment Day. Matt Mosier behind the wheel. Rob Farrell's been splitting the duties with him a couple times this summer. 1979 Ford from Clarion, Pennsylvania. Making sure his tires are straight and he's taking off. And I'd say he gave that track all that truck had. He had a super aggressive takeoff, turning a ton of RPMs right off the rip. 327.58. Really smooth pass down the track. Sucking out a power at the end, but that's going to get him in the number 3 spot so far here tonight. So definitely what he was looking for. Try to win that points championship, but we have 1 more truck out on the line, and he is hungry as ever. The Scalded Dog truck, William Campbell behind the wheel. He dropped the hook at the beginning of the class, coming back here, looking for the first win on the Appalachian Outlaw Pulling Series. Multiple top 5 finishes so far this year. Can this be it? Final truck in the class. Here he goes. And he's up there. Did he do it? Fans are on their feet in anticipation. 328.18, gonna be 4 feet shy of taking over the lead here tonight. But a great run put down by William Campbell, the Scalded Dog truck, just flying down the track. He had a smile on his face the whole time as he veered off towards the right portion of the track. Has to be super happy with that right there. And here it is, your winning run. Tracy Troy with the Blue Past You truck. Here she is. And that's going to round out the big block high output class here tonight. Tracy Troy, 332.99. Brett Cashier, 328.28. And William Campbell, 328.18. You can take a look at your final distances here. These trucks just stacked in there. Great competition here tonight and a great showing by the big block high output class. And guys, after a couple rainouts, that's going to do it for this season's rendition of the Appalachian Outlaws Pulling Series show here on our YouTube channel. We really hope you enjoyed every episode. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we have a ton of more content coming this offseason, including the Appalachian Outlaws Outdoor Show and Appalachian Outlaws Derby Series. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be an awesome time right here on the Appalachian Outlaws channel.